Hey, I'm Joshua Stern, and today's the first day of spring, so I figured what better subject to talk about than short sales. They're so springy, those short sales. Anyway, just a quick definition of short sales. Typically, a short sale is where a seller's upside down on a home value. They can't continue to make their payments, or at some point in the future they're going to be losing their property. That's called imminent default, where they won't be able to afford the property at some point in the future. And at that point in time, they contract with the real estate agent. The real estate agent starts negotiating with the bank, and hopefully they get the bank to take less than what's owed. So I wanted to talk to you about a few of these different topics. First of all, the biggest issue that I see right now is pricing. So when you're online, you're looking on the MLS and you see a property that probably should be $200,000 but is listed at $140,000. Well, you and everybody else has looked at that. You probably know it's a short sale, and it's a little bit frustrating. So how do agents come up with these values? There's a couple of different things to note about that. First of all, if the property is real close to a foreclosure sale, then the agent's likely going to put it at a very low price because they need to get an offer in there quickly. You see, the banks will typically not stop or stay a foreclosure unless there's an offer that they actually have to work with. And so if it's an urgency kind of a thing, they'll price those properties low just so they can actually get an offer in. That doesn't happen all of the time. And so another way that agents will price these properties is they'll price them at what they feel like market value will be. And market value is sometimes subjective. It depends on condition and area and such. But typically you'll see a process of price adjustments that occur over a period of time. And so every couple of weeks you might see the same property coming down in value. And what the agent's doing is they're trying to find a sweet spot at which point they can get an offer on their short sale. Now, the bank figures their price in a much different way. And the bank typically will, once an offer is submitted, the bank will assign the file to a negotiator. And that negotiator, part of their job is to go ahead and order what's called a BPO, otherwise known as a broker price opinion. And the BPO is kind of a limited appraisal, and oftentimes it's not very accurate. But the bank, that's what they have. They base their prices off of these broker price opinions, and sometimes they're on, but sometimes they're high. And there's nothing more frustrating when you get into a BPO situation where it comes in way higher in value than it should have. That's frustrating because at that point in time, it'll take the bank probably 90 days before they'll allow another BPO to be done. I would say at that point, if the BPO came in high, don't mentally move into the property, and you may very well want to just go and find yourself a new property to look at. There's price subject to third-party approval when you're looking on the MLS, at least here locally in Sugar House. When you're looking on the MLS system, and you see that it's a short sale and it says price subject to third-party approval, what that means is that the bank hasn't necessarily agreed on the price. We don't know exactly what the price is going to be, and that's usually beginning in the process. That'll change at some point in time. You'll see it as price pre-approved. And the price pre-approved means that the bank has actually verbally approved the price. Sometimes they've approved the price in writing, but those are the ones that you really want to go after, because if there's no offer on a price that's previously approved, you can usually get those to close in a lot shorter time. For instance, you write an offer and the bank should respond to that offer within about 30 days, whereas if it's subject to third-party approval, it could take about 90 days. And also understand this, with the broker price opinion, these banks are hiring agents who don't actively sell a whole lot of real estate to go out there and give their opinion of value. And that's part of the problem with the BPO is if you've got an agent who doesn't sell any real estate getting paid $50 to do a 4-hour BPO, the quality of that BPO is probably going to be rushed, and it's oftentimes not accurate. And it's very difficult to dispute value with the bank. That's pricing.